just because of a couple of callers ago was talking about someone that had the pretty strong addiction, I have a friend that had become alcoholic. She was definitely alcoholic, and she got a DUI. She is taking but she's been sober for 10 years now, but she still suffers from depression, and I'd say anxiety, depression. So is there anything I could encourage her with? She kind of got fired from her job, and
oh, that's a bummer. That's
I know.
I would start with let me bring my notes back up here. I would start with probably like really working hard with like sage, and I think she has a little bit of an imbalance in the autonomic nervous system. A lot of times, like this is what I was telling some practitioners a while back that were from a different modality, but we were talking out like how to treat some things, and I was like, like when people present with like a bunch of different conditions and you don't know what it is, you can almost just say, let's just go to the autonomic nervous system, basically fight, flight versus rest and repair, and just start there. And then if that's already balanced and good, then you have established like a foundation that makes it easier for you to do other treatments. But most times that system, and almost all of this, is not balanced. Like it's a little too much of one or the other. And so with something like this, I would look at like, using like some lemongrass or some anise. Like lemongrass would be the one I would go to for balancing out, and then some sage for just regular sage, Dalmatian sage, the sage triloba. Any of those would be good.
Thank you.
And, it's calming and soothing to the body. But those two oils, the lemongrass and the sage, are also in various traditions and cultures are considered cure-alls. And cure-alls like do a lot of, they address a lot of processes in the body that are non-specific to like a symptom. They help bring a balance and a level of normal function to the body that is not just about a symptom, but just like balancing out different things going on in the body. And it moves your body to like a more efficient way of like functioning that usually reflects in moods and emotion. And in situations like this, where she's prone to some depression, if it's to the point where she lost her job over the depression, I would start with the sage, kind of get things balanced out. And then as things started to feel a little bit better, even if they didn't, after like a week or two of treating with that, I'd follow it up with cinnamon. And, depending, alcohol can cause some reactions in the body. If there was prescription drugs, they cause a certain kind of thing. But if you step back and you go, let's not look at just like what little area, pinpoint area that it's causing some poor function or diminished function. But one thing you do is like sometimes you just go, okay, let's kind of stabilize everything the best we can for just a little tiny bit, and then just start jumpstarting all the processes. And so then you would go to like cinnamon, like the cinnamon leaf, because it just is a body stimulant, like not like caffeine. It just makes all the body processes jumpstart. And then the cinnamon and what else would I use there? Cinnamon, maybe rosemary, verbena. Probably just the cinnamon for a little bit.
I'll buy her those two and have kind of.
And so like this is the thing, like how potent this is. So there's this one medication, granted it's we're talking about alcohol here, but this other one was one of the high potent forms of painkillers, an opioid. Probably as potent as fentanyl, but it wasn't fentanyl. It's this thing called Opana. And, I had some patients one time where 3 of them were taking it daily and had been taking it daily for years. And it wasn't, they were taking it because, somebody gave it to them. Like it wasn't a doctor, basically the doctor got in trouble later. And so, those really high-end painkillers, they don't just like increase the levels of opioids. They try to do things with the brain chemistry, and they try to turn things off and jumpstart things. And, they try to play with the body processes to make the med work better. I mean, I get what they're doing, but this is really strong. And so, I had one person and they were wanting to quit. And so one person I was working with directly, and I had them use cinnamon multiple times a day. Like every couple hours, they were taking a dose of cinnamon. Every couple hours. Then another one, he didn't want to take the cinnamon, but we did it with a really strong form of ginseng. He would take ginseng. He wouldn't take any, he called all the other stuff hippies. He would always say, "Oh, I don't want to do any of that hippie stuff." And so I was like, okay, I get it. And then the third person didn't want to do any of it. So the first person, that person got through it, and it was rough, but they got through it and they were okay. Second guy, it took him probably a month to snap out of it, where the first person, it was a couple of days. And he had some pretty rocky moments there. Like at one point, he almost had to call the ambulance. Wow. Right? The third person died. Like that's how serious this medication is. Like it's crazy strong. And, the withdrawals is just, it's shut down a bunch of body processes. And the thing that got them through it was just constantly jump starting the body's processes. And so, ginseng wouldn't have been my first choice, but it was all he would do. So, I did some healing on him while he was doing the ginseng. And then the other person, we just treated with cinnamon. And, another time I used cayenne pepper on somebody with it as well. And it worked equally as well. They just had to do more of it. And that's the thing sometimes when there's been long-term addictions, is that it's not just that there's the addictive part, but the physiology changes a little bit. It's not that it changes, it just starts functioning differently. And so the cinnamon just keeps making you go back to like proper functioning. And then after that, I would probably, like after a week or two, follow it with 3 wise men, or frankincense or myrrh, and internally just start jump-starting all the glands. There, like when she gets to that point, the depression will probably lift pretty substantially.
That would be amazing. I think she's suffered with this a very long time.
Yeah.
Well, she lost her daughters because of it. I mean, they're alive, but
but there's no relation. Yeah.
But how about now on the sage? How do you internal? Also?
Topical, just topical. Like inhale it, salt baths. You could do a body tonic. You could do it in a lotion. She could just put like 8-10 drops in, and then squirt some lotion and just like kind of rub it on her torso and her neck. Just keep getting it all over the body.
Okay, and then the cinnamon, that will go internal though.
That's internal.
At that point, in a couple weeks from now.
Yeah,
right.
Cinnamon would be internal, and the 3 wise men would be internal. The lemongrass to balance out the nervous system, it can be internal, or you can have her do, how we do that pattern where we go front heart, forehead, back head, and then reverse it. Have her inhale the lemongrass that way.
Oh, so the lemongrass, I'm sorry, I missed that part. The lemongrass, I sorry, remember the ear thing? Okay.
Yeah.
So what was, because I thought you said something liniment, but you probably said lemongrass.
Lemongrass. Yeah.
What do you want me to do with that one now?
Either have her take a few drops internally, or do the front heart, back heart, forehead, back head pattern, and then reverse it.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're so
We'll just
welcome.
get started and then I'll kind of feedback with, but it'd be really helpful. She's pretty, it was hard. And then the place she applied, they
Yeah,
really need help in every department, but they
yeah.
all said they had no work for her at this time.
I'm
So
glad to talk you through it, like, or her, like, however you want to do it, like, as you're going through it. And, you know, sometimes little problems pop up, you know, because it's never like you can just follow a template all the time to treat these things, but glad to talk it through with you guys if you need to. So,
oh, thank
you know,
you.
shoot us an email or let us know and we'll get you the info.